National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi there, Dr. Jonathan Beatty, naturopathic doctor and a health expert here at Nationalnutrition.ca. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic for women and men, breast health. Oftentimes it's overlooked by men, but it's very important because men's risk of breast cancer, although not as high as women, is still a very significant risk in their lifetime. Okay, today we're going to discuss all the various things we can do, and excuse the language, but to save the tatas. Okay, it's a movement looking at, doing more for your breast health than just focusing on self-exam. Oftentimes, yes, self-exam, it's an important tool in screening for breast cancer, trying to find lumps. It's important that men do it. It's important that women do it. But there's more that can be done than just screening, because of course, what you're doing is you're looking for a disease that's already present. More importantly, what can we do to prevent it? Yes, once you have breast cancer, there's a variety of different treatment options out there. That's best left to be discussed between you and your doctor or your healthcare practitioner as to what is best for your particular case. That being said, there's a lot of lifestyle things you can do to help reduce any risk of breast cancer and optimize overall breast health. There's much more to breast health than just worrying about cancer. So we're going to go over a couple of different things you can do today, tomorrow, for the rest of your life to reduce your risk of breast cancer and improve your overall breast health. And this goes out to the men just as much as it does to the women, because they often overlook breast health as a concern that they should have. So a few different things we're going to discuss. One of the very first, exercise. Research has showed again and again, maintaining adequate exercise seems to have a preventive effect for the development of breast cancer. Therefore, I always recommend, for this and many other health reasons, it's important to stay active, get outside. One of my favorite movements going on right now is, making sure you spend at least 30 days outside in nature exercising. A few people are promoting it. David Suzuki, one of the most famous Canadians, is big behind this movement. And again, it's helping us get back to nature, helping us get outside, reducing stress and ensuring activity. The stress reduction, that's another important movement we make, because the more stressed you are, it actually has a suppressive effect on your immune system. And cancer is essentially an imbalance in how your immune system functions. Every single day, the human body produces and destroys cancerous cells, and the balance shifts towards the cancer development when that immune system's destruction of cancerous cells is suppressed. So if you can ensure adequate function of your immune system by regulating and managing your stress, you can reduce your risk of developing cancer. It's also important, in addition to exercise, that we focus on our diet. There's a ton of research out there showing certain foods that we can put into our diet that have a protective effect against the development of cancer and other breast diseases. Some of the ones that I love the most are your brassica vegetables. This is the broccoli family, your cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. I'm sure there's got to be something in there you like. If not, no offense, I highly suggest you learn to like them. Very important vegetables for your diet. It's because they contain specific chemicals that help our bodies to eliminate excessive estrogens. Estrogen is a growth hormone, and it's a growth hormone that can actually be, when it's the wrong type, actually be negative and cause an increased growth of breast cancer and tumor cells. So by limiting the amount of these excessive bad estrogens, we can help reduce the risk of the development of cancer. So increasing your brassica vegetables, that's your broccoli family of vegetables, is one way that can be protective. Another thing you can do, fermented soy proteins. I know I said the big S word in the world of breast cancer. Fermented soy has been shown epidemiologically to be protective against the development of breast cancer. Many people say, oh no, but soy has estrogen in it. Well, soy has these things called phytoestrogens. They're plant estrogens. They're chemicals that are similar to an estrogen. And yes, soy does have them. In fact, that's really what you want out of the soy. And it's only present in soy when that soy has been fermented to activate those chemicals. The reason you actually want these soy estrogens is, although they're estrogens, they're about 1,000 times less active than the estrogens your normal body produces. So what this allows is, yes, it may cause cancer cell growth, but it's actually going to interfere with the way your estrogens cause growth on that cell and may reduce the growth of cancer cells by about 1,000-fold. So you're slowing down the growth of these cancer cells, giving your immune system adequate time to identify and destroy the cancerous cells, thus reducing your risk of developing breast disease or breast cancer. So this is, again, one of the things I recommend when somebody's at an increased risk of specifically an estrogen-dependent cancer, increasing their soy isoflavones in their diet via, again, organic, non-GMO fermented soy to really ensure that they're taking in adequate levels of these protective compounds. I know it's controversial, but when you look at the research behind it, there's a lot of good evidence that this is very protective against breast cancer. So that's one of the things you can do dietarily. Additionally, ensuring your liver works properly. Most of the metabolism of your hormones is done at the liver. That's where your body processes the hormones for elimination. And when you end up in a state of estrogen excess, that can increase the risk of developing, improper breast tissue and then breast cancer. Therefore, ensuring adequate liver health, one of the easiest ways to support it, using something like milk thistle, which helps stimulate the liver to function properly, ensuring adequate B vitamins, which are needed for the normal metabolism of hormones, and then of course ensuring adequate and proper digestive function for the proper elimination of those hormones. So milk thistle, very important. A few other things you can use, there's a herb black cohosh or red clover. Again, these contain similar compounds to soy, and they can have, again, a protective effect against the buildup of these harmful estrogens and reduce, again, overgrowth of cancerous tumors, allowing your body the opportunity to then eliminate it. Also, vitamin C, very important for the normal function of your immune system. Again, we're talking about a breakdown in the immune system. We want to ensure that those cells that come in and clear out the cancer are strong and functioning optimally and have enough of the required nutrients for them to do that. You don't want to develop a condition from a basic nutrient deficiency, so taking in about 3 grams of vitamin C a day can be very effective. Again, I typically ideally recommend that in what they call a divided dose, so about 1 gram 3 times a day, because for some people, if they take in too much vitamin C at once, it can actually lead to loose stool, which is not a very comfortable experience. So you're best to just divide the vitamin C up through the day, and you don't have to worry about that. So that's the other thing that you can do to help regulate and ensure breast health. Now, there's another one that you want to make sure of, especially in Canada, because it's a deficiency we do have that's quite common. It's iodine. Iodine is a mineral that's needed by all hormone-producing glands in the body. And in fact, iodine deficiency is associated with the development of fibrocystic or lumpy breasts. So if you're somebody who suffers with fibrocystic breast disease, lumpy breasts, again, some simple iodine supplementation. You can do that either through seaweed, things like kelp powder is very effective, or you can supplement with an iodine supplement. Very effective at reducing fibrocystic breast disease or reducing lumpy breasts and the production of breast lumps. So again, that's the other thing you can add into your diet to ensure proper breast health. So in addition to these phytoestrogens, there's also compounds out there in our world called xenoestrogens. One of the most famous is something called bisphenol A or BPA. It's an inclusion in plastic. It's what we call a plasticizer. It makes plastic soft. What it is we call them xenoestrogens or foreign estrogens. What they typically are and what xenoestrogens typically are is chemicals in our environment that behave in our body like estrogen. They can activate estrogen receptors. The danger with things like xenoestrogens is they don't always play by the rules, and in some case they can sort of bind to estrogen receptors and activate them for a longer time or stronger than our natural estrogens do. And again, in a case of something like an estrogen-dependent cancer, you may actually be binding a fake estrogen or a xenoestrogen to that cancer cell, activating its growth response to a heightened ability or longer than usual, thus giving the cancerous cell an advantage against other cells. And that can actually increase the risk of developing cancer. So definitely make sure you still screen yourself, even if you do all these behaviors to optimize your breast health. Remember, it's still very important that we screen. if you have anything suspicious you're not sure about, go talk to your doctor. Make sure you get it checked out. But again, the more you work towards preventing a disease, the better. That ounce of prevention, definitely worth a pound of cure. So check out more of our natural health videos, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And always remember, knowledge is health.